Attention passionate Green Bay Packers fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC North and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Green Bay Packers' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Green Bay Packers fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your friends and Green Bay Packers fans. Let's get to the news now, folks. If you thought the Packers' offseason couldn't get any more intriguing, buckle up, because the latest buzz around the NFL circuit suggests that Green Bay might be on the verge of pulling off a blockbuster move that could redefine their defensive front for years to come. And it's all centered around one of the league's most dominant edge rushers, T.J. Watt from the Pittsburgh Steelers. I know it sounds almost too good to be true, but the whispers are growing louder and the implications are enormous. This isn't just about swapping players, it's about reshaping the entire outlook of the Packers' defense and potentially their entire season. So what's the story? Well, according to some credible sources and a hint of speculation, the Steelers are reportedly in rebuild mode after their recent quarterback trade and are considering selling some of their star assets to clear cap space and rebuild their roster. The name that's been floated as a potential trade target, T.J. Watt. Yes, the same Watt who has been a terror for offenses since he entered the league. And for Green Bay, acquiring Watt would be a game changer. The speculation suggests that the Steelers might be willing to trade Watt in exchange for a first-round pick in 2026 along with a third-round pick. And in doing so, they'd save around $25 million in cap space to fix their offensive line, which has struggled at times this season. Now, for those of you who follow the Packers closely, you know how desperately they need a disruptive force like Watt to complement their existing pass rush. With a cap space of roughly $94 million, Green Bay could comfortably absorb Watt's contract, especially if they make some strategic cuts elsewhere. And at 31 years old, Watt is still playing at an elite level. Last season, despite some injuries, he amassed 7 sacks, 22 solo tackles, 3 forced fumbles, and even an interception in just 10 games. His PFF grade was an impressive 94, placing him among the top 3 edge rushers in the league. His win rate at the line of scrimmage is around 26%, and his EPA per pressure sits at plus 0.43, which is outstanding. What makes Watt such a special player? Well, his career stats speak volumes: over 110 sacks and 140 tackles for loss since 2017. He was named Defensive Player of the Year in 2021, and even with some injury setbacks, his average pressures per game hover around 1.8, which is phenomenal. His ability to pressure quarterbacks, combined with his relentless motor, makes him a matchup nightmare. And even with a shoulder injury that forced him to miss 3 games last season, he still managed to be highly effective, often double-teamed, yet still producing game-changing plays. Now, looking at the Steelers' perspective, the move makes sense. Cap space is tight, with an estimated $5 million over the cap for 2026, and they're in dire need of youth on their defensive line. Highsmith has already shown promise with 6 sacks this season, but without Watt, the pass rush significantly diminishes. The Steelers' defense, which relies heavily on Watt's disruptive presence, would take a hit, especially in the pass rush department. Without Watt, their pressure rate drops and their ability to consistently sack quarterbacks suffers, putting them at the bottom of the league in that category. But for Green Bay, the potential acquisition of Watt could be nothing short of transformative. Adding him to a front already featuring Preston Smith and Rashan Gary, who finished 2025 with 8 sacks and a PFF grade of 87.6, would elevate the entire pass rush. Watt's presence would force offenses to account for him on every snap, freeing up others and significantly reducing the opponent's rushing yards. Last season, teams averaged around 115 rushing yards per game against the Packers' defense, which is middle of the pack. With Watt in the fold, projections suggest that number could drop by about 20%, bringing it down to roughly 90 yards per game, an incredible leap that would turn Green Bay into a run-stopping nightmare. This kind of front would be reminiscent of the dominant defenses we've seen in recent NFL history. Think the 2019 Patriots or even the 2000 Ravens, teams that played with relentless pressure and forced turnovers. It's no exaggeration to say that Watt could be the missing piece to elevate the Packers' defense into elite status, making them formidable contenders once again. And with the team's current record of 9-3-1, it's clear they're already in the playoff hunt. but adding a player of Watt's caliber could push them over the top and give them a real shot at contending for the Super Bowl. Now, let's talk about the impact on the playoff picture. Watt's playoff experience is extensive. Over 6 sacks in his playoff career, including multiple in high-stakes games. His ability to come up big in clutch moments, especially against mobile quarterbacks like Matthew Stafford, would be invaluable. With Watt, the Packers would have a clear advantage in neutralizing mobile QBs who rely on extending plays and creating chaos outside the pocket. His knack for pressure and sack production in the postseason could be the difference in tight games, elevating Green Bay's chances from a solid playoff team to a true Super Bowl contender. From a strategic standpoint, the Packers' front office would be wise to consider how Watt's presence could impact their entire defense. His ability to elevate the pass rush would take pressure off linebackers and secondary players, reducing the number of big plays allowed and increasing turnovers. Plus, his experience and leadership in the locker room would be invaluable for a team that's been striving to return to its championship form. With a roster that includes talented young players and established stars, Watt could serve as the veteran anchor that pushes everyone to perform at their best. And talking about the bigger picture, this move could also be a statement to the rest of the NFL that the Packers are serious about competing at the highest level. It sends a message that they're willing to make bold moves to bring in game-changing talent, rekindling that aggressive, win-now mentality that fans have loved for decades. The NFC North is already competitive, with the Lions, Vikings, and Bears all improving, but a Watt-led defense would give Green Bay a significant edge. It's a move that could shake up the entire division, forcing rivals to rethink their strategies and game plans. Of course, nothing is certain until official negotiations are confirmed, but the signs point toward a very real possibility. If this trade goes through, it could be one of the most impactful deals in recent Packers history, reminiscent of when Green Bay acquired Reggie White back in 1993, a move that ultimately led to a Super Bowl victory. Watt's addition could be just what the Packers need to finally reclaim their defensive dominance and make a serious push for Super Bowl LXI, especially considering the odds are shifting in their favor. DraftKings currently has their Super Bowl odds at plus 750, but with Watt on board, those odds could improve to around plus 450, making Green Bay even more dangerous. In summary, this potential trade isn't just about acquiring a star player. It's about transforming the identity of the Green Bay Packers' defense. It's about reestablishing their reputation as a powerhouse that can pressure quarterbacks, stop the run, and deliver in the postseason. Watt's proven track record, combined with the strategic fit and cap considerations, makes this move incredibly enticing. If the Packers can pull it off, they'll be sending a loud message across the league. Green Bay is back, ready to chase another Super Bowl, and they're doing it with a defense that strikes fear into opponents. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YOUTUBE algorithm to keep recommending the latest Green Bay Packers news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. And now, Green Bay Packers fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this potential move? Do you think Watt would be the perfect fit? Are you excited about the possibility of seeing him in green and gold? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion means a lot to us and to the Packers' future. Remember, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Green Bay Packers news. This offseason is shaping up to be one of the most exciting in recent memory, and whether or not this trade happens, one thing is clear. Green Bay is making moves, and they're doing it with purpose. So keep the faith, stay loud, and let's get ready for what's next. Go Pack, go!